Why did you not tell anyone this before?
Oh, it's a long story.
Then I suggest we have a refill.
My mother raised me on a diet of rice pudding, God, and guilt trips. There was only one way to live a life, and anything else would not be tolerated.
Sounds remarkably like my mother.
Back then, there was no representation, nobody to say, hey, what you're going through is perfectly normal. You're not a freak, you're not evil. You're not on your own.
I imagine that must have been pretty scary.
It was. So I took that part of me, put it in a box, buried it deep in the back of my mind. Did what every other girl my age was doing, got married, had a baby, lived a perfectly respectable life.
Can't have been easy.
You bury something deep enough, it becomes the norm. Never quite went away, though. This little neglected part of me that I kept hidden from the world.
Until now.
When Barry died, I suddenly had all this time on my hands to think about who I really was, what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. Was there any point in coming out now? But then I met the woman who would change my life. Forever.
What was her name?
Louise Eleanor Harrison. The wittiest, kindest, best person I have ever met. We were inseparable, even a bit of a double act. Then one day, after years of the most extraordinary friendship, I realized that I was completely in love with her.
Did you tell her?
Oh, I wanted to. But I was worried I would scare her off. I dithered for months. And I still felt this ridiculous guilt. I knew what we had was real and that she felt the same. We were just too afraid to say it. So I decided to bite the bullet and tell her. By then, we were well into lockdown, and it wasn't the sort of conversation you could have on the phone or through a window. And then she fell ill and was taken into hospital, and I never saw her again. She died alone on a COVID ward. She never knew how much she was loved.
I am so, so sorry.
I never even got the chance to say goodbye.
Well, Louise sounded like a remarkable woman.
Oh, she was. And I should be telling the world about her and how wonderful she was, but instead I've hidden my love like a guilty little secret, like it's something to be ashamed of. She deserves better.
Well, it's not a secret anymore. Well, I hope this is the beginning of something. After all this time, you owe it to yourself and to Louise to be the whole of you, if that makes sense.
Be out and proud, you mean?
Yeah, start that new chapter you were talking about.
Page 1, tell Rona.
How do you think she'll take it?
Oh, goodness knows. We've never had the easiest of relationships.
Yeah, well, I'm not Rona's biggest fan, but even I can see she's got a good heart. I'm sure when you tell her, you'll be pleasantly surprised.
I hope so. Look at me. Came here to snoop on your life and end up talking all about myself. Classic me. So, what are you going to do about Will?
In his own way, he thought he was protecting me.
And you're perfectly capable of protecting yourself.
I am.
Just be careful that in the process you don't let something good pass you by. I've spent most of my life hiding for fear of being hurt. Got me absolutely nowhere.
I was hoping we could talk.
I thought you weren't interested in talking.
I've realised I owe you an apology.
Is that so?
We've both handled this situation badly. It was all such a huge shock. So I'm sorry for how I've been. I know deep down you never meant to hurt me.
Good.
So, you are officially forgiven. And I would love it if you'd come home.
The thing is, I'm not sure that I'm ready to forgive you just yet. I mean, you're so convinced that everybody, including myself, is out to betray you that you don't even know when someone's got your back or not.
I know I can be defensive, but Jamie's a sensitive subject.
Yeah, I get that. But what about us? Yes, I hurt you. I didn't want to. I didn't mean to. But you really hurt me. And if it's that easy for you to end things like that, then maybe it's best that we stay apart.